Here it is, second part of the mountain, encouraging all to work out, train, exercise. And I'm now at the mountain, second part for the January 13th. I'm at the top. I'm not at the top yet, but of course I've been coming here. It's been more than 2 hours since I'm on the march, and I come here often. My second home, encouraging all to work out, train, exercise. And of course the first video, part 1 of this special full moon, Dragon versus Trump edition full moon, started a few minutes ago. I gotta be mindful that sometimes they ski. On that ski, my fellow citizens, go, good for you. Oh yeah, oh, I love to see people working out. I just LOV to see people working out, training, exercising. And you know, that's why we are on the backpack. It's kind of like mountain hiking for many ways, you know. On that mountain hiking, I guess you can call it mountain hiking as I go, auctioning everything that I'm wearing. Each item I may, and give half, 50% to my anonymous friend who wasn't my friend because of the money, because I never had any. Special Dragon versus Trump edition, support the dream. The dancing goddess and the Dragon Kingdom is fundamentally my dream. For the dancing goddess and the Dragon Kingdom, for the North American Collective, for the North American Civilisation Collective, which is fundamentally a public-private partnership, fundamentally a public-private partnership across the collective North American civilization. North Americans unite. This Quebecer Canadian was born in the USA 3 times, once as a woman. You get that 50-50 androgynous rainbow dragon, aka Adrian Hanna Dragon. Was born in the USA 3 times, once as a woman, twice as a man, post 1776. Twice served in the United States Army. 2 different wars, 156 years apart. Same US Army. Let's create the joint Dragon Army, aka North American Security and Service Integrated Force. North American Security and Service Defense Force. The Dragon Army, North America, for security, service, and defense only. For security, service, and defense only. Please encourage all to work out, train, exercise. Cannot stress enough. Having them, and we'll call for the mass financing of citizens to be financed to work out, train, exercise. And gotta send some LOV, because I dedicate this not just to my allies and armies, pledge your legions to our family, but to the firefighters of North America, the butchers, the bakers, the nurses, the doctors, those in the daycares who change some diapers, and those, of course, in the truckers, construction workers, Hydro-Quebec workers here. So we got the electricity tank workers of the past, present, future. Today, 13th of January, full moon special. Sending some LOV with that big hugs, big rock and roll to the firefighters of California. We send some contingency. Firefighters of California, firefighters of California, firefighters of California, firefighters of California, firefighters of California. Gonna send them some LOV, and please, millionaires, billionaires, finance them something good, and gonna go through there, finance them some. I do not recommend you take this place, and I gotta stay to the right side because there's more danger here, but I know the mountains is my second home. It's my second home. Mount Royal, the 3-peak mountain at the heart center, exactly between the east and the west of Montreal, aka Hawk Island, vice versa, HAWK, Hawk. My totem bird, the HAWK, Hawk Island, aka Montreal. So please, millionaires, billionaires, finance afterwards, and in between when you can. Massage therapy session to the firefighters. Some good washing feet, some good spa, some good recreational activities for the bodies. Massage therapies. I wish I could afford myself a massage therapy session. Financially struggling, stressed, but tomorrow full moon cleaning, and gonna take a bath and meditate, write some rock and roll, and dance, and going to work, independent athlete, artist, philosopher, geopolitical, theoretical, honest, and theorist, and mystic. I'll now enter into a little bit of a rock and roll trance. You know, when I come here in the mountain, I just have visions of past lives, previous incarnations. I believe I'm a mystic who believes in reincarnations. I was not just born in the USA in past lives. Although I served post 1776 twice in the same US Army, although the wars were Two different wars, 156 years apart. And once I was born a woman. Sometimes I was born right here in Quebec. A woman, a man, a woman, a man, a woman, a man. And that's what it is with that. A woman, a man, a woman, a man. And here I am joyous. I'm always happy, joyous even more so when I come here. And, I've been depressed, been suicidal, I've been depressed, been suicidal, been suicidal. Now, today, I'm just financially stressed. But grateful, thankful, my rent's paid, electricity bill's paid, got food and coffee. I love to see people working out, trying to exercise, doing some charity, millionaires, business. Please, NFL, National Football League, NHL, National Hockey League, NBA, National Basketball Association, MLB. Please, those personal masseuses, please go get the firefighters a massage therapy to the firefighters, especially those of North American firefighters, but also those, of course, who are in the wildfires of California. So, gotta get it on the go. And we gotta get it on the now. So it's always something which I gotta be mindful of. I know my fellow citizen, I gotta stay on the right side now, because I'm in the zone here. So I just gotta stay on the right side, just like driving, right, just on the right side for I consider Quebecers, Canadians, North Americans my family, and all who come to join us. North Americans unite. North Americans unite, the great collective North American civilizational complex. Support the dream. My dream is fundamentally a call for a public-private partnership. Fundamentally a call for a public-private partnership across the North American continent, the North American complex, the North American civilizational complex of North America, which we are a civilizational complex, which is not only divorced, but is distinct from Western civilization. And I always love when I see people skiing, jogging here, Of course, during the winter is less and less, but I love winter, I don't mind. I'm that 4 seasons. Today's full moon, so full moon goddess, GODDSS laying the foundations with 718 trillions of kisses, from the forgotten goddess, from the forgotten, which I will to build on the Canadian-US border, the forgotten goddess GODDSS temple there somewhere, and the North American People's Imperial Coliseum, the North American People's Imperial Coliseum, the North American People's Imperial Coliseum public-private partnership, and the pyramid House of the Dragon. Scarlet and crimson and scarlet are shades of red, my favorite color. Played black, white and rainbow 24/7. Androgynous, pansexual for the farmers, butchers, bakers, nurses, doctors, grocery store clerks. Always meditating about those train conductors. LOV to the truckers on the road carrying that milk, that butter, those eggs, that bacon, that bread, and all the other goods for the sustenance. Prices have increased quite tremendously, and myself financially stressed since I'm LOV for the North American Collective Workers Party. Let's get that. North American Collective Workers Party. The 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 North American Collective Workers Party. For the Dragon Army, North American Integrated Security Service and Defense Legion, Security Service and Defense Legion, pledge your allegiance to our family, friends with benefits only. Don't want to waste nobody's time, and friends with benefits only. Don't want to waste nobody's time, Friends with benefits only. Don't want to waste nobody's time, Friends with benefits only. Don't want to waste nobody's time, Friends with benefits only. Don't want to waste nobody's time. And here we are atop the mountain. Grateful, thankful, rent's paid. Electricity bills paid. Got food. Got coffee. Gotta get that LOV, Sometimes we gotta get it on the door. And we gotta get it on the do. And here, you find yourself a little bit in the wilderness, atop the forest on the mountain, and a little bit on the raw side, and a little bit on the I guess there's less illusions here, and top of the mountain on the forest, there's less illusions, on top of the mountain here, on the forest, there are less illusions, what I mean. It's more on the esoteric, occult, mystic side, and there are kind of less illusions. Civilization is a privilege. Hydroelectric dams, electricity, internet, mega farming structures. Thank you, those. I gotta salute LOV, those who change some of those, do some hamburgers, make work some cheeseburgers, flipping some of that salad, some pizza, some of that fast food deliverers, bus drivers, public bus drivers, carpenters, plumbers with it. Take that 50-50. Please, NFL, National Football League, NFL, National Football League, NHL, National Hockey League, NBA, National Basketball Association, MLB. Please mass finance and reduce the cost of the tickets by 44.9%. By 44.9%. 44.9%. I always love coming here in the winter. Something that I enjoy. Quebecer, Canadian, North American. It's not that cold today, I gotta say. I thought it was gonna be colder, but it's not that cold for me. I'm well dressed, auctioning everything that I'm wearing, and you see my fellow cousins, and family there on the ski. If you are so inclined to come for a ski here, or just march like yours truly is marching, right? Marching steps here and on the mountain. Mount Royal, my second home. We're gonna go to the Belvedere, clock it in, and gonna go back, feast on a budget. Full moon began more than 44 minutes ago, almost 45, more than 44 minutes ago, almost 45, more than 44 minutes ago, almost 45, and it's gonna last until about Thursday, and then Friday's gonna be Sabbath on it, so that's gonna be with that, and it's now the full moon, and I always enjoy coming here, even in the winter, but there's less and less people in the winter. I enjoy coming all seasons, but now you can see there's during the spring, winter, and autumn, there's way more people, and now there's a few, my fellow citizens, and I gotta be mindful of their security, their liberty, with my security, my liberty here on the mountain, which I enjoy, and that's what it is with that, and being that I enjoy on the do, and that's what it is, and physical activity, being physically active, that's my medicine and therapy of choice. I've lost between 80 and 93 pounds. Between 80 and 93 pounds. I started my fitness journey right after I came out of being depressed and suicidal when I crossed Canada in 2017, when I crossed Canada in 2017 in August and September. That event made me realize how many things to do, to see across Canada, and I established a strong esprit de corps. My fellow Quebecers, Canadians, North Americans in 2017 when I crossed Canada coast to coast in 2017 summer. That event changed my whole life. Prior to that, I was depressed. I was suicidal. I was depressed. Suicidal. I survived that. Just like a few years just before that event, I was attacked by surprise in the Montreal Metro, hit my head, and had a right arm dislocated. Went to the hospital, and they replaced it. I was put on some medication. I had on medication in where I used to live. It was a very underground, moldy place, and I was in a coma for a few days. I had my own psyllium pyoid episode, and I have lots of scars on the body, trauma, but the past years just having survived, so much. Here I am, full moon goddess, willing to build the forgotten goddess Judy DSS. I attribute my survival to the goddess Judy DSS. I will attribute my survival to the goddess Goddess. 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 I got goddess at God, with the goddess, with the kisses that are laying the foundations for the dancing goddess and the dragon kingdom. North Americans unite. Fellow Canadians, the king is absent. It's time for the republic. It's time for the republic, for the Canadian Republican Army, the North American Democratic Republic, as a Democratic Republican, as a Republican Democrat, pro-labor and love, universal revolutionary centrist, Aspie with Asperger's, and that's a neurological mental divergent condition which I've been accepting that I have in the past 44 months or so, more than 3.5 years, because for years and years and years I've been diagnosed, but it's not a mental illness, it is a neurological mental divergent condition which makes us predisposed to special focused interest, to having characteristics, because I do not use this terminology symptoms, because a symptom is more for an illness, while Asperger's is not a mental illness, it is a neurodivergent mental psychic condition, and we're just part of a minority who just have special interests, and those interest routines preoccupy our daily activities with intensity and focus and super concentration, super focus, super intensity, depending on what it is. It could be arts, it could be puzzles, it could be, for me, it's geopolitics. Sports and fitness, dancing is my favorite sport, and the trinity, rock and roll with that. Rock and roll, sports, fitness, dancing is my favorite sport and fitness activity, and geopolitics. So that's my holy trinity of super concentrated, super intense focus. I predicted what's happening now. An international conflagration, aka World War III, in 2019. I predicted it. I predicted that humanity will, some parts of the world will, their conflicts from the 20th century, are gonna restart in of course in the 20th century, and that's what's happening in Russia, Ukraine, and of course not only in Russia, Ukraine, but the Middle East, potentially China, Taiwan, the Republic of China, the ROC, to be distinguished from the People's Republic of China, which are too distinguished. To be distinguished from the Republic of China is to be distinguished from the ROC, Republic of China, from the People's Republic of China. They're two distinct ones, two distinct ones, so that, of course, their conflict dates from the 20th century, from Mao Zedong's era, when he established the People's Republic of China. The People's Republic of China in 1949 in October, 1949 in October, 1949 in October. That's when it was established, and as I'm laying the foundations for the establishment right here from Montreal, and the Canadian-US unity for the North American Collective at the Belvedere Conjuring Act, here, as we are atop the mountain, and we gotta go do it atop the mountain here, as we are at the Belvedere Conjuring Act at the chalet. We gotta be on the lookout, add, of course, to the Quebec flag, Canadian flag, at the US, and the flag of the dragon, and the goddess. Let's go see what we're working with here at the top. This is the chalet Belvedere, Belvedere chalet, the headquarters, and the Dragon Kingdom, and laying the foundations for the first dancing goddess in the Dragon Kingdom, laying the foundations for the first kingdom to be founded with trillions of kisses, the first kingdom to be founded, laying the foundations with trillions of kisses created from the goddess. And on the Canadian-US border, my will is to build the forgotten goddess temple, and of course the house of the dragon, and right here's the chalet Belvedere, laying the foundations for the dancing goddess in the Dragon Kingdom with trillions of kisses. Oh yeah, it's not that visible. It's kind of blurred a bit, but I'm gonna see you where the pyramid is. That's my favorite skyscraper. You can't really see it. You can see it a bit, but nonetheless, slightly. Oh yeah, you can slightly see it a bit, not too much, a little bit. The pyramid. Pyramid, pyramid, pyramid. Pyramid, pyramid, pyramid. Anyways, this is what it is here. Montreal, Konjac. So back in 2019, you know, predicted an international conflagration, and we're gonna go by the top, by the back, and we're gonna go roundabout, roundabout all the way to the back, and we're gonna go like this, you know, like a snake, you know, like a snake, like a snake, like a snake, like a snake, like a snake. Yeah. Yeah. So here on the mountain, you know, you get a little bit of a taste of, it's less illusions, you know, it's less illusions, you know, on the mountain, in the forest especially. We can see the lights from civilization being the privilege. Thank you, farmers, butchers, bakers, nurses, doctors, grocery store clerks, and all involved in the production, distribution of food, you know, those sanitation workers and garbage collectors, and those laying some pipes and aqueducts, sanitation workers, you know, send them some LOV, you know, to the firefighters, and send them some LOV to the firefighters, and here we are, you know, at that Mount Royal. Gonna go deep in and discuss the DRT now, the detrofusion theory. Detrofusion theory paradoxically is the only solution, which we gotta focus on. Solutions, you know, that's what we gotta focus on, and that's what we gotta do on the focus with solutions, you know. Primarily, that's what we gotta focus on with solutions, and we gotta focus on with solutions. And public finances. When you study geopolitics, my main special interest, or my trinity, is geopolitics, and in geopolitics you got to study a little bit about public finances. So in public finances, the fact is that today we pay on the public finances of Canada, debt servicing in 2024, we paid 46.5 billion. Listen again, you can check the numbers with the Bank of Canada. 46.5 billion, 46.5 billion, 46.5 billion, 46.5 billion, 46.5 billion, 46.5 billion, 46.5 billion is 46,000 million. That is 9 zeros, and that's what it is with that, that's what it is with the XYZ, that's what it is for the LOV, you know, so that's what it is with the XYZ and XYZ, that's what it is for the numbers of the mathematics, you know. We pay 46.5 billion in interest, 46.5 billion in interest, 46.5 billion in interest, a billion having 9 zeros. In 2020, 2021, we paid 20.3 billion, you know. That's 20.3 billion. That's of course 20,000 million. A billion has 9 zeros, you know. A billion has 9 zeros. So keep in mind that, of course, due to COVID and having survived COVID, for me was like, For me, it was like death, pestilence, and disease. Coming for me was like death, pestilence, and disease. Coming for me was like death, pestilence, and disease. I know it's hardcore death metal song, like a hardcore death metal song, like a hardcore death metal song, and that's what it is with that. And I survived it, got triple vaxxed, and that's what it is. Got that triple vaxxed, and got it on the go for now. So that's what it is with that. That's what it is with being now and XYZ, you know. So just gotta be mindful that there's fellow citizens, you know, passing with this. So I gotta stay on the right side. Gotta stay on the right side. For my security, their security, my liberty, my work, and their fitness activity and liberty and work, their liberty, and their work, you know, that's what they're doing with that, and that's what I'm doing, working here and discussing the DRT, debt refusion tree, which is the only solution, you know, for what we are now, the only solution, you know, for what it is now, you know, so that's what it is. It's the only solution, you know, that's what it is. The only solution here, you know, for what it is, you know, to make it the only solution, the DRT, for where we are with the public finances. So the fact that we pay 46.5 billion in interest, you know, 46.5 billion in interest. In 2020-21, we paid 20.3. 20.3 times 2 is 40.6. So due to COVID, the amount of interest only on the public debt has more than doubled. Because 20.3 times 2 is 40.6. It's 46.5 it was 2024. It's possible it could start tomorrow. It could have started today. Right before the morning, before noon, on the 20th of January, when Donald Trump and his administration is sworn in the presidency, second Trump presidency, second Trump term. It's possible that we see in the news public financial collapse of Canada. What's called in finance a black swan event. What's called in finance a black swan event. What's called in finance a black swan event. Worst case scenario, it's possible. Listen, make that parallel with the public finances of Canada, with a personal financial matter. Let's say in 2020, 2021, I would have paid just in interest. I don't have credit cards. I do not have credit cards. I do not have credit cards. I have a credit line. I have a credit line. And I pay 11% interest on my $10,000 debt. On my $10,000 debt. You know, that's what it is with that, you know. That's what it is. So imagine your debt, your interest would have went from 156 to 333. So 156 double is 333. So imagine just paying the interest would have more than doubled from 156 to 333. While your salary, one's salary, yours or mine or somebody else's, a citizen consumer, let's say, the paying the interest more than doubles in 3 years, while the salary only increases by 5%, 10%, 15%. You know, not how many salaries have doubled. Not a lot. Maybe only a few have a few millions, a few bonuses. CEOs have increased. You know, some athletes got the 3-year contract, 5-year contract, 10 years, 11 years, whatever the case may be, 44 million. For 3 years, 156 million. 700 million, 10 years, whatever the case may be, for some athlete CEOs, but the majority of salaries have only increased a few percentage, 3%, 7%, 3.5%, 3.5%, 4.4%, 7.8, 7.5%, 8%, 9%, 10, 11%. Very few by more than 10% in the past 3 years, since 2020, 2021, let's say, right? So you're paying the interest on the public debt of Canada, just the interest, not the principal, just the interest, not the principal, just the interest. Now the principal has more than doubled, right? So from 20.3 to 46.5. So you know, what if you're paying the interest, if your interest payments have more than doubled in 3 years, while your salary only increased by 5%, let's say 10, let's say by 15% maximum. You went on a strike and they gave the 15% increase, right? Let's say they give you an increase of 15%, right? Let's say. But still, you would still have to cut Videotron service, internet service, Netflix, whatever the case may be, you'd have had to cut some services, right? You'd have had to automatically reduce some costs, reduce some services, reduce some expenditures, some bacon, some milk, some sugar, some coffees. No more coffees or whatever XYZ coffee shop you go to. You had to cut big time. If we went from 156 to 333, which is exactly what happened to the public debt of Canada. That's what must be understood fundamentally. So my DRT theory, or something very similar, is of course something very similar, is of course which has to be done and implemented, has to be done and implemented. So something very similar to it. So all the debt, we're going to take, this is the DRT theory, my debt refusion theory is the only solution. It includes monetary integration theory. It includes monetary integration theory is exactly the theory which the European Union implemented. The Germans destroyed their central banks. In Germany, the Italians, they destroyed their central bank. In many countries, they destroyed their central bank and they cancelled their currencies. So they created the ECB, a European central bank, They created a central bank. So they destroyed their central banks and they created the ECB, the European Central Bank, to issue a common currency known as the euro. So they created that currency, the euro, and they created it in the 90s, long ago, more than 25 years ago, they created a common currency known as the euro and a common central bank. So all that currency, which they created a common currency for different nation states. They no longer have the national central banks. So they destroyed their national central bank. So all that money, now they have all the money in circulation, is the euro. Since the 90s, they no longer have Deutsche Marks, Italian francs, French francs, and Italian liras. Correction. Deutsche Mark for Germany, their national currencies, which they had before the 90s. 1999, I believe, but it started before. So they destroyed their central banks. So my DRT theory includes monetary integration theory. So we're going to take all the public and the private debt. So keep in mind again, my DRT theory contains monetary integration theory. So in my theory, monetary integration theory is included in it. My theory, it has included in it. In my DRT, debt refusion theory, is included monetary integration theory, which is exactly the financial theory which the European Union implemented by the creation of the ECB, the European Central Bank, and a common currency. So we're going to take all the public and the private debt, my debt, your debt, our debt, all the public-private debt, including my $10,000. My $10,000 to the Royal Bank of Canada, my 10,000, your 10,000, whatever you have is debt. All the public-private debt of Canada coast to coast, and first and foremost for Canada, preferably at the same time like the establishment of the NHL, National Hockey League, which in reality is binational, like the PVHL, like the professional women's hockey league, and other leagues, binational preferred. So all the debt, public and private 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 debt. We gotta get the public and private debt back. Public and private debt. We're gonna take it all. The public and private debt. We're gonna take it all. Together, we're going to add it all up. We're going to convert it into US dollars because the United States dollar is the currency of choice for world trade, international business, global import, export, and tourism, and world affairs, geography, diplomacy, correction, diplomacy. So all the debt, public and private, we're going to convert it into US dollars. Canada, coast to coast, add it up, add it with the United States, Mexico, if they will, Haiti is part of the North American Collective of North America. Cuba is a paradox now because they joined BRICS. But of course, Jamaica. Canada first, Canada, US at the same time, preferably, and extending in North America and beyond, beyond. And we're gonna take all the public-private debt. That money, initial money, is gonna be the initial money supply in circulation for a new currency, which we're going to call the UE, based on the value of the US dollar, because we're going to convert all the public and the private debt of Canada into US dollar. We're going to create the UE, U dot universal, E dot exchange, U dot unit. U dot universal, E dot exchange, U dot unit. The universal exchange unit. The UE, the universal exchange unit. U dot universal, E dot exchange, U dot unit. The universal exchange unit based on the value of the dollar. We're going to set an interest rate level of 10%. It could be less than 10%, not more. It could be 3.33, 1.56, 6.1, 9.3, 7.18. So by principle, with all that money, we're going to build 44 tunnels, construct 44. The number following 43 before 45 is 44. Tunnels across North America inspired by the Cheyenne Mountain NORAD complex, Montreal underground village. We got an underground tunnel village, underground village of kilometers and miles, square miles and square kilometers. So we're going to construct 44 tunnels in case of a thermonuclear war. Rebuild more infrastructure, rebuild more hydroelectric dams, more hydroelectric dams, more hydroelectric dams, more hydroelectric dams, more hydroelectric dams. We're gonna get the more hydroelectric dams, and we're gonna convert all the dams. We're gonna convert more the power plants. We're going to create more power plants. We're going to rebuild the infrastructure of the North American Collective. We're going to rebuild the infrastructure of the North American Collective. And I got to tie my shoes again. Let's see. I got to tie it now. Maybe later. I think I'm good, but for safety, and safety got to go hand in hand with liberty. I think it's best if I do tie my shoe now. Once again, I got to tie it up a bit. So let's just go here. Place the... So again, we're going to all the public and the private debt. So all the debt, public and private, my $10,000, your $10,000, whatever you have as debt, all the debt together, that's going to be the initial money supply for the new central bank. But we're going to have to do the conversion from Canadian dollars into US dollars. So my $10,000 converted into US dollar added up with the US, all that money is going to be the initial money in circulation for this new currency and this new North American central bank. We're going to merge the banking financial system, takes a public-private partnership, and we're going to create the UE. The UE, universal exchange in a universal exchange in a universal exchange in a universal exchange. They're going to be the universal exchange in the universal exchange in universal exchange. They're going to be creation of the universal exchange, universal exchange in the universal exchange in the universal exchange. So we're going to create the UE. All that money is going to be in circulation, is going to be the initial money supply. With that money, we're going to be able to do lots of good. Rebuild the infrastructure of the collective North American civilization. Build tunnels, 44 of them. Rebuild the infrastructure. Mass finance citizens to work out, train, exercise. Mass finance citizens to work out, train, exercise. Mass finance citizens to work out, train, exercise. We're going to mass finance citizens to work out, train, exercise. We're going to mass finance tourism across the North American Collective because it does me a lot of good. Tourism across the North American Collective. We're going to mass finance tourism, mass finance fitness, mass finance lots of good projects for the wellness of the population, for general wellness, for well-being, and for defense. We're going to implement Operation Northern Scorpio. And we're going to, of course, implement Operation Northern Scorpio. We're going to implement Operation Northern Scorpio. And, of course, we're going to create massive infrastructure. We're gonna create Operation Northern Scorpio. And we're gonna create Operation Northern Scorpio for security, service, and defense. And we're gonna need to make a census, a North American census, and great economic, commercial, financial audit, and a census, and create a common passport. We're gonna have to create a common passport and get rid of the border integrate based on my 911 citizen integration project protocol for the American Collective, for the North American Collective, for the North American Collective, for the North American Century, the build on the Canadian-US border, the Forgotten Goddess Temple, the Forgotten Goddess Temple, the Forgotten Goddess Temple, Goddess Geodds, the North American People's Imperial Coliseum, the North American People's Imperial Coliseum, the North American People's Imperial Coliseum for major sports events. Please, NFL, National Football League, NHL, National Hockey League, NBA, National MLB, Major League Baseball. Please give tickets to the public workers. It takes a public-private partnership. Calling on my astrological brother Scorpio, Bill Gates, of BlackRock, and Blackstone are two financial institutions with divergence. Another Scorpio of the stars astrologically, Larry Fink, and Scorpio Joe Biden for, I guess, the next 7 days, a week from now, still president, until the 20th of January time, XYZ. Encourage all to work out, train, exercise, and we're going to be able to mass finance citizens, public-private partnership, and lay the foundations for the two complementary covenant and cooperative institutions, the Dragon Army, the North American Integrated Security and Service League, the Legion. Pledge your allegiance, friends with benefits only, don't want to will to waste nobody's time. Pledge your allegiance, friends with benefits only, don't will to waste nobody's time. Pledge your allegiance, friends with benefits only, don't will to waste nobody's time. Don't will to waste nobody's time, you know. Quebec, Canadian, North American, past lives, incarnation. Today is the 13th of January, in the forest, in the woods. Gonna switch it for that French because we're in La Belle Province a bit. And that's it, that's so. Gonna go a little bit on that rock and roll trance. And here we go, the DRT explained. Take all the public-private debt refusion theory, DRT, debt refusion theory, the DRT, the debt refusion theory for the creation of the universal exchange unit is the only solution. You can argue all you want, but we pay so much in interest. We pay that there's about to be a public financial collapse, black swan event on the horizon, possibly starting even tomorrow. You could start ASAP, because that's how the fiscal year changes, and that's how it happens with interest. Just imagine your interest, you would have to cut. What are the government going to cut? The services of what? Security services, RCMP, prisons, public sanitation. It takes a public-private partnership, my DRT, the public-private partnership for the Democratic Republic of North America. Make a great census. What's been happening in the past? Who's living here for the past 7 years? Who's living here for the past 7 years? And do assessment and a census, mobilize the population, coast-to-coast defense, security and service. We got the two oceans, the geographical reality and the geographical reality parallel to the geopolitical realities of today. That's the solution. And the Dragon Army, North American Citizen Integrated Security and Service Defense Force, and the Dragon Army, parallel to the DGA. Dancing Goddess Army, the DGA for Security and Service, the DGA, Dancing Goddess Army, the North American Integrated League, aka DGA, Dancing Goddess Army, aka the North American Integrated Dance League, and the Dragon Army, aka the DA, the North American Citizen Integrated Security Service and Defense Force, Security Service and Defense Force, the debt refusion theory for the creation of the UE parallel to the CIT, Citizen Integration Theory, and the Democratic Fusion Theory, that trinity of theories to be established, of course, ASAP for the Dancing Goddess and the Dragon Kingdom. My dream for a public-private partnership, my dream manifesting as the Dancing Goddess and the Dragon Kingdom is, of course, the Dancing Goddess and the Dragon Kingdom is, of course, the call to a public-private partnership, of course, for the North American Democratic Republic, for the North American Democratic Republic. Republic, North American Democratic Republic, the North American Democratic Republic, you know. That's what it is with that, and that's what it is with that, for that XYZ, and that's what it is, concern. That's what it is with that, and that's what it is for the XYZ comes, you know, that's what it is, and we gotta go on the dough, and you gotta get going sometimes with that, and you know, the public-private partnership, the dancing goddess and the dragon kingdom, and hopefully somebody making LOV, the dancing goddess and the dragon kingdom, that's what it is. My dream is fundamentally a call for a public-private partnership. When I say the dancing goddess and the dragon kingdom, by which I'm laying the foundations with trillions of kisses, for the foundations of the trillions of kisses, you know, for the foundations which I'm laying first and foremost, trillions of kisses, some marching steps with it, and some push-ups and some hawks, and that's what I'm happy here, my second home. I'm glad so many people came, and so many people came with that, and somebody came with the XYZ, you know, that's where we are today, and I'm gonna give it for the XYZ. You know, we're gonna give it for now, you know, we're gonna give it for the LOV, you know, so that's what we're gonna get doing with that, and that's what we're gonna get drilling, you know, to get on the go, you know, so it's always something which we gotta be mindful of, the meditative aspect, you know. Now we are here, and we always gotta think about the civilization, the privilege of civilization, which we have, the lights, the electricity, you know, fridge, and that I'm able, although I wish I will to afford a massage therapy session, and I cannot afford one. Finance the firefighters, you know, of course, who are fighting, you know, who are fighting now, of course, of course, in the wildfires in California, you know, and that's what it is, you know, with it, XYZ, that's what it is, and XYZ, and it's for the XYZ, and that's what it is with that. That's what it is, you know. The DRT for the creation of the U, the universal exchange unit. That's what it is with that, and that's what we gotta do. There's no other way. You can argue all you want, but there's no other way out of the financial, where we are now today, where we are with the financial situation, not today. So there's no other choice. But that, you know. There's no other choice but that, and we gotta do on the XYZ, and that's what it is, and we gotta get it to the XYZ, and that's what we gotta do it, man. Sometimes we just gotta do. It takes the implementation of my DRT theory, the detrofusion theory, you know. It takes the implementation of my DRT theory, and here it is, the desert in the snow. I'm gonna switch to that French a little bit, and French a little bit on that rock and roll side. Let's finish it with rock and roll. The detrofusion theory is the only solution. The dancing goddess and the dragon kingdom, it is my dream for the dancing goddess and the dragon kingdom. Pledge your allegiance, to our family, you know. Pledge your allegiance, to our family. Pledge your allegiance, and to our family, and friends with benefits only, don't will to waste nobody's time, no will to waste nobody's time, no will to waste nobody's time. I don't want to waste nobody's time. Let's go for that. Rock and roll bilingual, let's go. Hey, you know how it goes in the snow. We gotta rock and we gotta roll. So you know I entered those trances on that rock and roll. On the mountain as I go. Freestyle, that's the mode. You know that I said, come quick and the kisses got a lead. I wanna ask me about that rock and roll, you know. Guys swinging for the ice, swinging for the dice, swinging for the dice. I don't gamble, I just kiss. Kiss on rock and roll, you know we miss. Miss, I did it for the hits. Miss, I did it for the X. For the white and black and rainbow, that's the white thing you should know. You know that's the evergreens up in the blow. Evergreens up in the blow. Evergreens up in the know. Evergreens up in the blow, evergreens up in the dough, evergreens up in the dough. For the X and X and Y, for the X and X and Y we go. What's up?
You can see like Montreal from here.
You guys want to see first time you guys coming here?
Yeah.
I don't want you guys to get lost, but you see this path here?
Yeah.
You're gonna go in a circle. You're going in a circle, roundabout. See that house there?
Yep.
You're gonna see those lights. So keep going straight. Don't go to the left or to the right. You're gonna turn in like this,
Okay.
like a snake,
Okay.
like a coiled snake, like you're coiling,
Okay.
and then keep right. Don't deviate in the forest.
All right.
So if you guys try to deviate in the forest, be careful because the branches fall, okay? If you decide to take a peek, the branches are not that safe, so you might be endangering your lives. So I suggest to you that you stay on the main path as this.
Yeah.
Where are you guys from?
Oh, we're from Gatineau.
Gatineau, first time here?
Yeah.
Oh, you're gonna love it. You can see the whole city. You can see it's called Belvedere, and you can see the whole city. The whole city is, well, now it's not that because of the snow, but usually you can see the whole skyscrapers. So snake, eh? Like a snake.
30 our way through. All right. Have a good night.
Welcome to Quebec. Hope you find somebody to make good love with. No, that's good, man. Play that rainbow, bro. All right. Anyways, that's for my fellow freestyle rock and roll from Gatineau, you know. They're gonna get from the Gatineau, they gotta get here for the first time, so I always love to show citizens and tell them how to go like a snake, you know, because just gotta be careful if they go in the forest, because, you know, there's trees and I don't want their, you know, I want them safe, you know, safe in the trees, and that's what I told them. If they decide to take a peek in the forest, just be very careful because the branches fall and the trees are not so, their trees are not so healthy, so I tossed them, so they got each other, that's good. Make some LOV, man. Love you guys. Make good love and a hug like you never hugged before. Today with consent, 15-20 minutes, just big hug, and that's what it is, you know. I gotta get that LOV, man, you know, so just gotta get it for the LOV with that, and gotta get it for the LOV with that, you know, so yeah, here you can come skate. You can come skate there. See, there's a skating rink, and you got the skating rink with that, and you got the skating rink, and you got the skating rink with that, you know, so you got people skiing, skate, so you can come enjoy. Let's see a little bit of that play. Yeah, a little bit of play, man. That's what it is. So here you can enjoy. So he's gliding down. So if you decide to take a peek, you know, if you decide to take a peek, if you decide to take a peek, you know, so if you decide to take a peek, you know, so that's what it is with that, you know, so it is with that. That's what it is. That's what it is. That's what it is for the love, man. Look at those citizens. Rock and roll now. Rock and roll, you know the sound up in the skating rink. They be gliding wide open. And the ski on the rink, and the skates on the sink, and they going left or right, and the evergreens, you know they're coming from all over the world. On the Mount Royal you go, from the love and from the snow, for the love and for the snow. You know, up and down we go, up and down we go, up in the rainbow, that's the colorful up and you know. So another lay, another brick dig dough. On the dope and on the lope, on the lope and on the slope. On the slope, you know my rock and roll are dope. On the slope, you know my rock and roll is dope. On the slope, you know my rock and roll is dope. On the slope, you know my rock and roll is dope. And the trees up in the slope, and the trees up in the slope, and the farmers, butchers, bakers, that's a rope. For the truckers, firefighters, up in California. For the firefighters, up in California, you know you gotta be some loving. For the firefighters that's in California, that you gotta be some loving. For the firefighters up in California, that you gotta be some loving. It ain't all about the money, you know, that's the snow. You see the honey where the bees at, they be hiding. That's the hibernation where the, you know, they coming up inside, they're coming out about. The women have been allowed up in the beans, you know, you see up in the screamer. But you know, your holidays up in the sea. Up in the seas, up in the me, up in the seas, up in the D, up in the seas, up in the sea. That you know, 1, 2, 3. For the farmers, for the butchers, for the bakers, for the nurses, that you know, that slide. For the citizens, you know, they gliding. For the citizens, you know, they hiding. Up in the forest, up in the trees, they from get to know, you know, you please. Rock and roll, I get that trance. When I'm on the mountain, that's the evergreen, you know, that's better. That's the rabbit chasing tail. That's the rabbit for the bunny player, black and white and rainbow. You know that you know you go, you know that you know you go. For my homosexuals, you know that I sing up in the gold. For the kiss up in the go, for the kiss up in the go. Black and white and rainbow, black and white and rainbow. For the kiss up in the homos. Gotta keep up in the LGBTQ, you know, for the Qs. It don't matter if you're straight, you can booty with the rainbow. Rainbow dragon, gotta kiss it, that hot. You don't fumble, that's a sack. Give some charity, don't be a smacker. Give some charity, don't be a smacker. Snacker's not gonna freeze. You know that you're a blind believer. You know that you're a blind believer. That you know the blind believer. So you know up in the seeds. You know that's a farmer blocker. You know that's a farmer. You know that's a swinger. That's a misser. And that's another hit where the hawk is. You know that you see the trees. You know that you see the trees on the forest, and you know please. With another kiss, with another string of hips. That's some of that body that you see. I'm nobody. Piece of dust, but I lust. Goddess, I say goddess. You know that's a ski without it. Go retarded. Go about it, shake your hips and go about it. Twerk it on my face for world peace. She said another piece of the cake. I say please. Don't be so selfish. Leave us some booty for some cock and pussy. Don't be so selfish. Leave me some booty, some cock and pussy for some massages up in here. Ain't nobody's coming see you near. Got a fear, ain't no fear. Rainbow dragon, rock and roll. That's you. Just ask. Gotta ask. With no mask. Get dirty, get back clean. You know, a spleen, so that I seen on the scene. Up in the mountain, I go up in I enter rock and roll trances on the mountain. I do enter in rock and roll trances on the mountain. I enter rock and roll trances on the mountain. I enter in rock and roll trances on the mountain. You know, that's how I do. I enter in rock and roll trances. So there we go. One another go. Hey, you know that I trance. On the rock and roll, you know we go. As I swing it for the more, and for the sore. Hey, let me see the ankles, let me see those hips up. So you know I rock and roll on the mountain as I go. For the swing up in the hips, you know that we enter kiss. So the holiday you miss, so that makes me happy. They give me hope. They just kiss. They want to disturb, but that gives me a little bit of hope, man. You know, I'll use some hope. I'd rather be saying that, you know. Then it's not all about fight. You know, gotta have some love, man. Now I'm going back home happy because I saw these two people kissing. You know, there's hope for the free world, man. Hope. Gotta go fast by the sled. Hold on. Yeah. That's all right. It's good, man. Now I'm happy. Now I'm happy. Joyous. I was a bit moody, but now I'm happy, you know. Saw people kissing and hugging, and that's good. Double it, triple that, you know. Now that gives me hope, you know. That's worth fighting for, you know. That's worth fighting for, you know. Yeah. Carry on. You can kiss in the public, and you know that event really made my day. Those two there, coming out of the mountain by my second home, Mount Belvedere, kissing, you know, and I play black, white, straight love, homosexual love, lesbian love. I do that rainbow, black and white and rainbow, LOV, being androgynous, pansexual, androgynous, you know. Black, white, rainbow, man, women. If you want some LOV, friends with benefits, you know. Play that androgynous, pansexual, rainbow dragon, you know. 24/7, baby. Oh, it gives me hope. Straight love, homosexual love, lesbian love, all sorts of signs of affection, you know. Just saw them kissing and I'm happy now, you know. Happy now. Hope I can. Full moon is better. Let's hope for the full moon. God is blessed. God is blessed. And that's what it is with that. And I'm happy now. I'm going to sing a little bit and hit the French and that's it. Hey, you know that I swing it, sing it, sing it, swing it, sweet holiday, goddess. That's the moon and that's okay. That's the moon and that's okay. Hey, hey, hey. Gotta sing up into this mist. Hey, French cause we la belle province. That's a hit. Hit or miss. French and rainbow. Gotta kiss it like Celine Dion. And a sweet I'm out of town. And a sweet up in the town. For the hit up in the mist. For the mountain. That's a yeah. That's the mountain. And I just sing it. For the holiday, you know you miss it. For the holiday, you know you kiss it. For the rainbow, that's the business. Hey, for my rainbow, that's the business. Pledge your allegiance, legions. For the rainbow, that's your business. Pledge your allegiance, legions. For the rainbow, that's the business. Pledge your allegiance, legions. And we're going to switch it to the French because we're in la belle province. Et bienvenue, votre dragon arc-en-ciel vous encourage à faire l'amour. L'entraînement physique avec consentement bien sûr. Puis aujourd'hui, la neige. Il y a de la neige. Mais il ne fait pas froid. C'est quand même une température plaisante. Je viens de voir des gens quand je suis descendu de la montagne qui se donnaient des bisous, des signes d'affection. Fait que ça m'a donné un peu de joie. Puis c'est la pleine lune, donc je célèbre. Je commence la célébration de la pleine lune pour 3 jours. Je vous fais appel à tous et toutes de soutenir mon rêve qui se manifeste comme le royaume de la déesse et du dragon qui danse, que je fonde pour l'Amérique du Nord, le collectif nord-américain avec des milliards de bisous. Des milliards de bisous crédités par la déesse. La pleine lune, ça dure 3 jours. Fait ben du nettoyage de ma grotte de dragon arc-en-ciel. Je vends tout ce que je porte, les souliers, les bas, tout ce que je porte, la casquette, la tuque. Pour 1 million, pour donner 50% à mon ami anonyme, qui n'a pas été mon ami à cause de l'argent. Je n'ai jamais eu pas d'argent pour des guitares, mais je chante du rock and roll. Et bien sûr, là, j'ai l'Asperger's, l'autisme moindrement fonctionnel, puis je suis un analyste et théoricien en géopolitique. J'ai prévu la situation qui se déroule en ce moment en 2019, puis j'ai ma trinité de théories socio-philosophiques que je suis appelé à tout le monde de faire l'implémentation sur la théorie de la refusion de la dette, qui est la seule et unique solution du fait qu'on paye aujourd'hui 46,5 milliards. En 2020, sur l'intérêt sur la dette publique qu'on paye, c'est 46,5 milliards. En 2020-2021, c'était 20,3 milliards. 1 milliard 109,0. Fait qu'imaginez-vous, ça a plus que doublé. Imaginez-vous potentiellement, si un citoyen, l'intérêt payé sur la dette, sur les cartes de crédit, moi j'en ai pas. J'ai une ligne de crédit, c'est différent de 11% d'intérêt, mais imaginez-vous moi-même ou vous-même que l'intérêt que moi j'aurais payé ou toi t'aurais payé, imaginez-vous le cas où en 2020-2021, c'était 156, puis là, l'année passée, 2023-2024, que ça a plus que double. C'est plus que double. Imagine, c'est plus que double. Fait qu'imagine, c'est plus que double, là, ça veut dire qu'il va falloir couper dans un budget. Ça veut dire qu'il va falloir couper à quelque part. Il va falloir absolument couper à quelque part. Donc, la TRD, théorie de la refusion de la dette, paradoxe, ma théorie, c'est la seule solution pour la création de l'unité d'échange universelle. Oui, comme qui ont fait parallèlement en Europe. Puis c'est le temps qu'on s'unisse, les Nord-Américains, qu'on crée un passeport commun, qu'on fasse un consensus de tous les citoyens puis la population qui se trouve dans le collectif nord-américain en Amérique du Nord depuis 2017, puis qu'on fasse un grid économique, bien sûr, puis l'implémentation de ma TRD, théorie de la refusion de la dette, la théorie d'intégration citoyenne, la théorie de la fusion démocratique par la 4e dimension qui est l'amour. Je vous encourage à faire l'entraînement physique. Avec la TRD, on va pouvoir financer les gens autour, financer les gens à l'entraînement physique. Parce que ça fait tellement du bien. Moi, ça m'a fait tellement du bien quand j'ai fait mon entraînement physique. J'ai commencé après avoir sorti de ma dépression. J'étais en dépression suicidaire. J'ai traversé le Canada de côte à côte. En 2017, c'était événement dans ma vie. Cet événement, ça m'a fait établir un esprit de corps solide avec les Québécois, les Québécoises, les Canadiens et les Nord-Américains. Je me considère comme famille, puis vous savez que moi-même, je crois à la réincarnation, j'y crois réincarnations, j'y crois à des réincarnations. C'est quelque chose, j'y crois bien sûr, c'est quelque chose que dans cette dynamique que j'ai moi-même ici, bien sûr, ça fait bien sûr pour le faire, bien sûr, pour le faire ici, ça prend de l'action aussi, là. Comme c'est ça que je vois déjà, mais ça me donne l'espoir, tu sais. Ça me donne l'espoir, tu sais, ça vaut la peine de défendre ça, tu sais, l'amour aussi, là. Ça vaut la peine de défendre l'amour, tu sais, ça fait la peine de défendre l'amour, puis en voyant des gens qui se tiennent par la main, qui se donnent des câlins, qui se donnent des bisous, mais ça me donne l'espoir, tu sais, ça vaut la peine de défendre, parce que, tu sais, c'est pas juste se battre, c'est pas juste l'argent qui compte, se battre puis l'argent, ça prend aussi de l'amour, là, tu sais, si j'aurais pas d'amour, le Québec ou le Canada, l'Amérique du Nord, mais, je sais pas, je partirais quelque part d'autre, tu sais, je sais pas, moi. Je sais pas, l'amour pour le monde aussi, je peux être universel, mais avec l'Asperger's, l'autisme hautement fonctionnel, je peux être quand même mal compris, mal entendu souvent, mais je souffre beaucoup à cause de mon autisme hautement fonctionnel, l'Asperger's, cette condition de neurodivergence qui n'est pas une maladie mentale, c'est une condition neuropsychique de neurodivergence. Ça fait que j'ai bien de la misère dans certains contextes sociaux, puis les interactions de communication avec les autres gens. Je peux paraître... J'ai de la difficulté dans certaines choses, mais pas la géopolitique, c'est mon intérêt spécial qu'on appelle les intérêts super intenses. Puis je suis un analyste intéressant en géopolitique qui a prévu la situation actuelle. J'ai prévu qu'est-ce qui se passe dans le monde maintenant en 2019. Je l'ai prévu en 2019. J'ai marqué 5 ans en novembre 2024. Octobre-novembre. Ça fait déjà 5 ans. J'ai prévu la situation actuelle parce que je fais des analyses dans le géopolitique au quotidien. C'est mon intérêt spécial. Les Aspis, nous, les Asperger's, qu'on a l'autisme hautement fonctionnel, on a ces intérêts spéciaux. Donc, ça nous préoccupe avec intensité, super concentré, super dedans. On est super dedans. Fait que j'ai une routine depuis des années, c'est l'analyse en géopolitique, puis la danse, l'entraînement physique, le sport que je préfère, c'est la danse. Parallèlement avec la danse, le sport préféré, c'est la danse, le sport préféré, puis bien sûr, l'entraînement physique, la danse, c'est l'entraînement physique que je préfère, la danse, puis l'entraînement physique, la danse que je préfère. Avec l'entraînement physique, c'est le rock'n'roll. C'est ça mes intérêts obsessifs. C'est ça mes intérêts obsessifs. C'est ça mes intérêts obsessifs, bien sûr. Fait que c'est ça que je fais. Ma trinité d'intérêts obsessifs, bien sûr. C'est ça que je fais dans ma vie, en tant qu'artiste, athlète, philosophe, depuis des années. Puis j'ai prévu qu'est-ce qui se passe maintenant. Je l'ai prévu, basé sur des analyses théoriques complexes, mais pour faire un résumé, c'est que j'ai conclu avec un dénominateur commun qu'à cause que des régions, des pays, des régions géopolitiques, des civilisations n'ont pas été capables de résoudre leurs problèmes de manière pacifique, ils vont reprendre ces problèmes-là du 20e siècle, de la guerre froide, plus exactement, plus spécifique de la guerre froide. Puis en Russie puis l'Ukraine, c'est quand même un conflit du 20e siècle qui date de la guerre froide, qui a duré quasiment 45 ans, plus que 44 ans, plus que 44 ans, plus que 44 ans. Et bien sûr, en Israël puis la Palestine, le Moyen-Orient, le monde arabe, c'est encore des conflits qui n'ont pas été résolus du 20e siècle. Ils ont repris d'intensité, ils ont repris. Ça n'a pas été comme ça depuis 50 ans, depuis plus que 50 ans. C'est possible qu'avec la Chine puis le Taïwan, c'est encore un conflit qui n'a pas été résolu complètement du 20e siècle. Résolu complètement du 20e siècle. Fait que c'est ça qu'il faut comprendre. J'ai prévu qu'est-ce qui se passe maintenant. J'ai quand même des solutions. La Trinité de théorie, la TRD, pour la création d'une unité d'échange commune. Je fais appel pour l'intégration de l'Amérique du Nord dans un collectif. La création de 2 institutions de partenariat public-privé pour la sécurité, le service, puis la défense, puis la renaissance. Pour la sécurité, le service, puis la défense, puis la renaissance. Pour la défense, sécurité, puis le service, puis la renaissance. Il faut qu'on rebâtisse l'infrastructure. Rebâtir l'infrastructure. On a l'infrastructure qu'il faut... Ça va prendre du muscle et du cerveau. La civilisation, c'est un privilège, tu sais. Il faut bâtir d'autres centrales d'Hydro-Québec. En remerciant les travailleurs du 20e siècle qui ont construit, bâti ces centrales pour que j'aille moi-même l'électricité dans mon téléphone pour faire ce travail que je fais pour le mettre sur YouTube. Bien, peut-être une personne va entendre. L'autre jour, j'ai eu pour la première fois 418. Ouais, pour sur une de chansons rock'n'roll, ça fait quand même plaisir d'avoir parce que c'est mon travail. Puis juste maintenant, je vis juste un stress financier. À part ça, je suis bien, je suis content. J'aimerais ça me permettre un massage thérapeutique, mais c'est mieux que vous financez les pompiers. Ils le méritent plus que moi, les pompiers, puis les infirmières, ils le méritent plus que moi, le massage. Puis là, il commence à neiger fort, fait que je ne veux pas endommager trop mon téléphone intelligent. Fait que je vous laisse avec... c'est mon outil de travail quand même. Je vous laisse avec une chanson rock'n'roll. Je vous laisse, la neige s'en vient. Le rêve de votre arc-en-ciel, prêtez allégeance, les gens, vous êtes famille. Prêtez allégeance, les gens, vous êtes famille. Prêtez allégeance, les gens, vous êtes famille. Ça neige, ça coupe, ça danse dans la neige, comme québécoise, les montagnes. Des îles de la Madeleine jusqu'ici de la 17 région, sa province. Et ça face Charlevoix, qui s'appelle la voile de Charlotte. Ça s'appelle la roulotte, ça danse. Ça bouge des fesses sur les gratte-ciel, qu'on a d'autres centrales de Québec, c'est pas l'armement bombardier. Ça bombarde. Céline, Céline, sa plaine, c'est le dragon arc-en-ciel qui vous chanterait. Le rock'n'roll, ça bouge avec la langue, ça fasse le rock'n'roll ensemble. La Trinité, puis ça danse, la Trinité, puis ça lance, la Trinité, puis ça avance. Ça avance, les pieds mûrs, ça danse, les pieds mûrs, ça danse, les pieds mûrs. Hey, dans le mur, pas d'argent pour une guitare. Je vis juste un stress financier aujourd'hui. Là. Aujourd'hui, je vis juste un stress financier. Après ça, la gratitude. La gratitude, c'est quelque chose de super important pour la santé mentale, je trouve. La gratitude. La gratitude. Puis l'entraînement physique, j'ai perdu entre 80 et 93 livres. Puis que j'ai traversé le Canada en 2017. En 2017, j'ai traversé le Canada, j'ai établi un esprit de corps solide avec le Québécois, le Canadien. Vous êtes ma famille, des fois dysfonctionnel, puis ça en donne l'espoir, voir du monde qui s'aime, qui se donne des bisous. Ben, ça vaut la peine de défendre, hein, parce que c'est pas juste l'argent qui compte, tu sais. Ça prend d'autres choses. En balance, en équilibre. Puis les Nord-Américains, côte à côte, défense, culte et service, le dragon arc-en-ciel, soutenir le rêve. Le rêve, c'est fondamentalement un appel pour un partenariat public-privé.